The next type of equation we want to talk about is solving rational equations. An equation with one or more rational expressions, algebraic fractions, is called a rational equation. So when we're solving this, we want to factor the denominators of all the expressions and identify any values of the variable for which any expression is undefined. What that translates into, you're looking for any values of the variable that make the denominator 0. Those are going to be our restrictions. We then want to find the LCD, least common denominator of all the terms in the equation. We're going to then multiply each term on both sides of the equation by the LCD and simplify. We'll then solve the resulting equation. And then lastly, we'll check the potential solutions in the original equation. Or at the very least, we're going to check that the potential solutions are not equal to any of the restrictions we identified in part 1. So in solving rational equations, extraneous solutions, fake solutions, occur when we multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD that happens to be 0. Multiplication property of equality says we're only allowed to multiply, divide both sides of an equation by any non-zero real number. So for any value from step number for which the equation is undefined, we'll make the LCD 0 and hence cannot be a solution. So my first step here is to factor this denominator, and this last one's a difference of squares. So that factors into x plus 5 times x minus 5. And I know my restrictions cannot be 5 or negative 5. And this x plus 5 times x minus 5 is my LCD. So we next multiply every term on both sides by the LCD. And then we go ahead and we divide what we can divide out. So you might find it helpful to think of these LCDs being over 1. And here the x plus 5's divide out, here the x minus 5's divide out, here both the x plus 5's and x minus 5's divide out. This is what we're left over. 9 times x minus 5, subtract 6 times x plus 5, and 15. Next step is we solve the resulting equation. We distribute that negative 6 and distribute that 9 to both terms. Combine like terms. Add 75 to both sides and then divide by 3. That gives us 30. The good news is that 30 is not plus or minus 5, so that means that solution is probably going to be good. But we can go ahead and check. And I'd recommend you putting this all in your calculator than trying to do it by hand. But if you go through, you can see you get the same number on both sides. So it does check. So our solution set would be 30. So if we look at problem number 1, our LCD here is x. So I don't have to worry about factoring. And my restrictions here is that x cannot be equal to 0. So what I want to do here is I want to go through and I want to multiply every term on both sides by x. So I want to take that 1 over x, that negative 3, and that 4 over x, and I'm going to multiply each of them by x. And again, if it helps you out, put that as x over 1. So on this one, x's divide out, that just gives me 1. That's a minus 3x. Here my x's divide out, that gives me 4. And now I'm going to go and subtract 1 from both sides. That'll give me negative 3x equals 3. And then we divide by negative 3. That gives me x equals negative 1. We check up here. It does not match my restriction. So we're good there. So that would be our solution. If you want to be more thorough to make sure you don't make mistakes, actually literally plug it in. 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. Minus 3 is negative 4. 4 divided by negative 1 is negative 4. I get negative 4 equals negative 4. it does check. All right, let's try the next one. So my LCD here is the 2 and the a minus 2. My restriction here is that a cannot be equal to a positive 2. So now we're in business. We're going to go through, we're going to multiply every term on both sides by this LCD. So I'm just going to leave myself some room here. And let's go ahead and write that as our LCD over 1 just to make it easier. So we can always do that trick if we need to. Okay, so now let's see what we can cross out. On this first one, I can cross out the a minus 2. I get 2 times a, that's just 2a. On the second one, oh, there's a typo. Let's see if this works as with a minus. So I'm going to divide out the 2's. A minus 2. And over here, a minus 2's divide out. 4 times 2 is 8. So I'm going to distribute that negative to both terms. That gives me 2a minus 8 plus 2 equals 8. Combining, that's a plus 2 equals 8. Subtract 2 from both sides. That gives me a equals 6. So that does not match my restriction. So 6 will work. So that answer worked out fine. So good. All right. So again, you can do the full check by plugging in 6. Let's just go ahead and show that on a calculator, how that would work. What you do is you would do each side individually. So like for instance, I would first do the left side. I'm going to replace a by 6. And I'm going to literally type that side. And then hit enter. So I should get 1 when I plug in. And now we're going to check the other side. And get 1. 1 equals 1. It does check. So that's how I recommend you doing your check. Put the left side, do that, then do the right side. See if these numbers are the same. Let's try this next one. My LCD here is x. My restriction would be x cannot be equal to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply every term on both sides by that x. The only reduction we get here is on the second term. So that's going to give us x squared plus 32 equals 12x. So I want to go ahead and bring that over. Go ahead and subtract 12x from both sides. That gives us x squared minus 12x plus 32 equals 0. And let's see if we can factor that. And it should factor. If we look at 32, two factors we want is 4 and 8. Both of them will be negative. X minus 4 times x minus 8. We'll go and set each factor equals 0 and solve. Excuse me. That gives me, if I add 4 to both sides, x equals 4. Here, add 8 to both sides, get x equals 8. And neither of them match my restriction of 0, so both should work. We again can plug in 4. 32 over 4 is 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. Plug in 8. 8 plus 32 over 8 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12, so they both do check. Let's try this next one. So here, my LCD, we have a factor of y plus 1 and y, so it'd be y times y plus 1. And that means y cannot be equal to 0 or negative 1. So let's see if we can go ahead and clear this out. I'm going to go ahead and multiply every term on both sides by the LCD. Again, I want to leave myself a lot of space here. So my LCD is this y times y plus 1. And then we want to divide out the common factors, so the y's divide out, the y plus 1's divide out, and the y's divide out here. Take a deep breath. So my leftovers here would be 16 times y plus 1 minus 16y equals 2 times y plus 1. Take a deep breath. And we're going to distribute. This would be 16y plus 16 minus 16y. Distribute the 2, that would be 2y plus 2. The 16y's add up to 0, so I just get 16 equals 2y plus 2. I want to go ahead and take away 2 from both sides. That gives me 14 equals 2y. Dividing by 2, that's going to give me y equals 7. That does not match a restriction, so that 7 should be good. And let's just go and verify it. So actually the right side's pretty easy. That's going to be 2 over 7. So we know the right side's 2 over 7. Let's do the left side. So I would do my fraction key, and let me get out of the glare. 16 over 7 minus fraction key 16 over 7 plus 1 gives me 2 over 7. And we know the right side is going to be 2 over 7, so it does check. So, makes life easy on yourself. Please do the checks using your calculator. Don't try to do them by hand.